problem, what you're going to be doing instead of just doing the simple mole to mole ratio, mole to mole conversion, you're going to have to go from grams to moles, and I'll write this out for you. You're going from grams, because that's what you're given in the beginning, to moles, okay? And then you're going to go from moles of, so if you read the question, it says calculate the number of grams of NH3 produced by the reaction of 5.4 grams of hydrogen. So you're going from grams of hydrogen to moles of hydrogen, okay, to moles of NH3, because you want to eventually find your number of grams of NH3, so you first have to go from moles of H2 to moles of NH3 to grams of NH3. Alright, it seems really daunting, guys, but it's actually really nice and simple as long as you follow the very specific steps that you have to take. Alright, so the first step I'm going to do, what I always do, I'm going to put what I'm given. Notice in this problem I tell you you have 5.40 grams of hydrogen, or the book tells you that. Okay, here's your hydrogen. Alright, notice your reaction is balanced. That would be your first step if it weren't balanced. Alright, notice it also says you have excess nitrogen. So when we get to limiting reagent problems, that will matter, but for right now we're going to ignore nitrogen and just work with hydrogen. So we're told that we have 5.4 grams of hydrogen. So I'm going to write 5.4 grams of H2 to make it clear that I'm first working with hydrogen. Alright, so I want to go from grams of hydrogen. I eventually want to get into grams of NH3, but I can't do that immediately. I have to first use my mole to mole ratio to get into terms of NH3. So I'm first going to get into moles of H2. So I'm going to crisscross swoosh. I'm going to put 1 mole of H2 up top. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of grams on the bottom. Now, I have to use the molecular mass of H2. Well, H is 1. The atomic mass of H is 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. Alright, now I'm in moles of H2. I want to eventually get into moles of NH3 in order to get into grams of NH3. So I'm going to crisscross swoosh, and I'm going to use my mole to mole ratio. So first I'm going to put moles of H2 on bottom to get rid of them. Okay, then I'm going to put moles of NH3 up top. And now my mole to mole ratio. Now this is why your balance reaction is so important, because I'm going to be looking at my coefficients. So notice there's nothing here, so that means there's a 1, implied 1. There's a 3 here and a 2 here. So I'm going to be using those numbers. Sorry, there should be an arrow here, guys. I'm going to be using these numbers in my mole to mole ratio. So how many moles of H2? Well, there's a 3 here, so I'm going to put a 3 there. How many moles of NH3? Well, there's a 2 there, so I'm going to put a 2 there. I'm almost done. I'm in moles of NH3. I don't want to be in moles of NH3. I want to be in grams of NH3. So I'm going to crisscross swish one more time. I'm going to put 1 mole of NH3 on bottom because I want to get rid of moles of NH3. And I'm going to put grams of NH3 up top. Now, for this last step, I need to find the molecular mass of NH3. So for nitrogen, if you look at your periodic table, it's 14. That's the atomic mass. Plus 1 times 3. So the molecular mass of ammonia is 17. Okay, so what you have to do in your calculator, and this is really important for you guys just to make sure we're on the same page. I'm done, right, because I went from grams of hydrogen, got rid of grams, got rid of moles, got rid of moles. Now I'm in grams of NH3. That's what I wanted to be in, right? Calculate the number of grams of NH3. I'm good with that. Now I just have to do the math. So I do 5.4 divided by 2. Okay, times 2 divided by 3 times 17. Okay, so what I end up getting is 30.6 grams. Alright, so it's important for you to make sure that you are comfortable with all of the math of that, remembering that if something's in the numerator up top, you're going to multiply it. If it's in the denominator, you're going to divide it. Alright, and so that's the mass to mass conversion, going from grams to moles so that you can use the mole to mole ratio right here, right? Because I'm in moles of H2 to go from terms of H2 to NH3, I have to use the mole to mole ratio. So there it is right there. Now I'm in moles of NH3, which I want to be in. I want to be in terms of NH3, but I want to be in grams, so I do that one more conversion. Alright, and that's it, guys.